Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Grape fam. Welcome to the weekly update for July 3rd. I'm Felix, and we're going to start with stats. So the most important stat we have this week is going to be our peg chart. As you can see, we've been hovering a lot closer to our 1.01 peg than we have in the past this week, although this has been a very strong week in the sense that we have seen almost no depegs, very solid printing almost all week. And if we want that to continue, the most important thing we can do is to protect the peg as a community. And the most vital part of this to understand is that we really need to avoid any unnecessary selling pressure on Grape. So we'll have a dedicated video coming out on this very soon. But in the meantime, just understand that anytime you sell Grape for wine, for MIM, for any token, that does affect the Grape price, and that is still a sale even if you sell Grape directly for wine. Also, zapping Grape into LPs, while it is good in the sense that it deepens our liquidity, does sell half of your Grape. So if you have any way to add fresh MIM, that's a better alternative. And of course, you can always single stake your Grape in the vineyard to earn wine. We recommend during these times that Grape is closer to peg, it just makes more sense to take profits by selling the wine token so that we don't risk missing any EP. So looking at the Grape chart, you can see the Grape is trading just below $1.03. The wine token has had a strong week, up to $254. We did see obviously an incredible bounce back last week following that depeg, and that's where I showed you guys that gain of over 50% in 1 week. This week, we've kind of just stabilized. We had a little bit of a dip as we got closer to peg on Grape, which obviously affect the wine price much more than the Grape price, as we can see here, a 12% dip, and then in the following days, just a similar amount of recovery, right? So as we can see, wine continues to follow the trend of responding to the Grape peg, and that is why if you're interested in holding wine and printing fresh Grape rewards, it's important to avoid any unnecessary sell pressure on the Grape token. And despite fairly consistent token prices this week, we have seen a steady growth in TVL, which is absolutely fantastic to see for the protocol. We peaked out a little bit over 12.6 million yesterday, and that is going to be close to an all-time high for the protocol. So congratulations, everybody. And it's fantastic to see that the winery has not stopped printing in that time. All right, moving on to our NFT collection. And we can see that there's actually just today been a slight dip in the NFT floor price. So it looks like we got about 6 goon bags for sale, 7 goon bags for sale, under the previous 14 AVAX floor for 11 AVAX apiece. So that's a great opportunity to grab yourself a goon bag if you don't have one yet. And as we mentioned last week, you can use Grape tokens to buy NFTs from the winery collections using Hexagon Marketplace. So if we come over here, we're listed front and center on the homepage, and you can sort by low to high to see that the floor price for goon sacks on Hexagon is $295 Grape. We got a wine glass for $485, as well as a decanter and a goblet up for sale for Grape tokens. So this is just an awesome way to be able to add another use case to Grape. Make sure you check out the winery collection on Hexagon Market if you haven't done that already. And I want to give a quick shout out to Princess J2O for creating this full moon NFT collection. You can see there were 20 full moons which were available for mint for 20 Grape each. So it's just awesome to see the community chipping in, being creative, and creating another use case for our Grape token. So good job on this one, Princess, and congratulations to anybody who's a little bit faster than me and managed to mint one of these bad boys. And next up, we have the AALTO Protocol Whirlpool, which is basically a 24-hour lottery prize draw with new entries every 24 hours. And you can now buy tokens for this pool using the Grape token. So basically what you're going to do is pay $5 in whichever token you choose, and your tickets for the draw will entitle you to earn a large amount of each of these tokens, obviously funded by tickets bought over the past 24 hours. So to get over here, you're going to need to use Grape on Binance Smart Chain. You can connect using any hot wallet that connects to Binance, and you can come over to the multi-chain router to go ahead and bridge Grape. So if you just put in Grape, you're going to want to take your Grape from obviously Avalanche mainnet over to Binance, and your MetaMask is going to take you through the required connections. There is a minimum fee of 5.63 Grape if you want to bridge. So you have to weigh it up, and it makes sense to bridge a slightly larger amount of Grape so that you're not losing such a large percentage whenever you do decide to bridge. But it's awesome to see another cross-chain application for Grape. We can see here if I want to go and bridge 100 Grape over, I would pay about a 5% fee. If you have 1,000, you're paying more like a 0.5% fee. So weigh that up, but this is a fantastic opportunity to use your Grape tokens for yet another use case on another chain. So thank you, Alto, and great work from the team on this one. And a personal favorite update of mine, it seems like we have one of these every week, but Taz, our front-end wizard, is continuing to pump out these dashboard updates, so I will continue to cover them. We now have the amount of Grape wine and G-bonds you hold in your wallet displayed. You will see your total dollar value, not just in the whole protocol, but in each section of the protocol. So I like to keep my LP in Magic, but as you can see, my Node TVL and Winery TVL are both listed, and as always, you can view or claim those pools directly from the dashboard. So from me and from the whole community, thank you, Taz. This dashboard is awesome. And the DAO has been making some money moves. So if you're interested in seeing what we've been investing in with the DAO, you can click on the wallets, and we have our multi-sig wallet and our treasury wallet linked here. I'll jump over to DBank and show you guys that one of our new investments is the DEX Finance protocol. So this is over on Binance Smart Chain. You can see that we have a majority of this investment in the safer option, which is always going to be the LP. And then we have a little bit of DEX share staked as well. DEX Finance is a fascinating protocol. I don't have time to explain the whole project here, but if you jump in our Discord, you can see links to their project and their friendly folks, so they'll definitely help you out. Make sure you welcome all of our new DEX Finance friends in the server. And over on the multi-sig wallet, you can see our other new investment, which is the Walrus protocol. So some of you guys may be familiar with Lame Hillbilly, Top Gun, and the team over there. In my opinion, they've done a fantastic job, and of course, they're close with LB. So if LB trusts them, I trust them. He's got a great nose for DeFi, and we can see that, again, we have a majority of our investment in the Walrus USDC, which is their PEG token, their primary LP, and then we're also LPing a little bit of USDC and their share token. So you can track, again, the value of those investments and the value of both the treasury and the multi-sig wallet using the wallets link from the homepage. And before I move on to our community questions, I want to give a quick but heartfelt shout out to our legendary community manager, Nikki Viandar. Personally, Nikki has guided me in ways I can't even describe through my journey in crypto, and I'm super thankful to him for his presence in the protocol. But he traveled over to London to the Ministry of Sound for the Swapsicle launch event as a VIP guest, and Nikki was invited to share some of the details on the Swapsicle Grape partnership. So you can see my boy Nikki right here. Nikki, we're proud to have you representing us, and I couldn't think of someone better. And to cover a couple of our excellent community questions this week, you can see that I'm on YouTube GB because I am still traveling back to the States for just in time for July 4th, actually. And that also explains a little bit of the weird dimensions you're seeing on my window in the background. Normally, obviously, you have an external monitor for that, but enough about me. The first question I want to address is a question about changing PEG tokens. And their question is essentially, is it going to be an issue if we have to change PEG token to a token that's being pegged already by another protocol? So we know that USDC is being pegged by Frozen Walrus, and there are also tomb forks out there doing seigniorage using a token pegged to the DAI token. So essentially the question here is, are we going to be facing more competition if we switch from MIM to another stablecoin? And essentially the answer to that is that the value of the Grape protocol is much more about the use cases that we build for Grape rather than the MIM token itself, right? The point of MIM is just that it's a stable coin. So it has a stable price, and it allows us to build our features in a way that we're not going to be interrupted by price movements on the PEG token. So ultimately, if we do end up choosing another stable coin alternative to MIM, the real utility of that will just be to have another token that's potentially even more stable than MIM. Obviously, the real value of the project comes in the features we build for the Grape token, like our farms, like our NFT collection, like the game coming out, like lending and borrowing on the Vinium platform, and like all of the partnership opportunities such as Alto that we are introducing. So, Grape is much more than MIM. Although we have done great so far pegged to MIM, we understand that some people might have some concerns about the over-collateralization model, but as we've discussed in the past, that's something that we are still very confident about. And another interesting question that we had from the community was about the nature of our DAO investments. So when it comes to investments from the multi-sig wallet and the DAO, the question is essentially, what is the goal of these investments, right? Are we looking to have cash to support the peg? Are we looking to make partnerships with other protocols? Or what is the purpose of these Frozen Walrus, Magic Farm, DEX Finance, and other partner protocol investments that we make, right? And the short answer is basically all of those, but essentially, as we invest and grow the value of our treasury, it basically gives Grape more ammunition, more dry powder with which to hire additional devs, to pay for marketing, or to make any of the necessary investments that we need to make along the way as we build the Grape protocol to be bigger and better, right? So as we build lending and borrowing, as we partner with new protocols, it's always useful to be able to have liquid cash to essentially accelerate that process and make sure we can bring you guys the best product possible as fast as possible. I'm going to leave you guys with another view of this beautiful dashboard, and as always, I have some claiming and compounding to do. Grape fam, I want to thank everybody who contributed questions for the AMA. Again, a quick shout out to Princess J2O, Nikki for going to the Swapsicle event, obviously Dev, LB for basically just kicking ass in general, and everybody in the community for protecting the peg. Please avoid any unnecessary sell pressure on the Grape token, and as I said, take rewards in wine whenever possible. As we can see, TVL remains high. We're doing a great job, so until next week, Grape out.